Bullet Club.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you've been with us before, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time with us, this is Alan Presents. I am one of your hosts. I'm the primary host of this particular video. I'm Alan, and this is my co-host. This is Leanne.
And the secondary host.
The secondary host. The runner-up host. The silver medal host.
The spare.
The spare. No, he's done that. Talking about rags, of course. And as you've already seen from the title card, there's probably about 20 minutes ago by now after that banter. This is our predictions for the forthcoming WWE PLE Royal Rumble from Indianapolis on February 1st, 2025.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Can I just preface something first and say, how the hell is it almost February?
Oh my goodness. What is time?
Where's January? I feel like I've been robbed of like 3 weeks of January somewhere. I don't know where they've gone.
Crazy.
It's weird. Yeah, so I'm going to do this slightly different today. I've got notes on my phone instead because I felt it was easier to type these ones up than it was to write them out because obviously page restrictions and whatnot. So I'm going to be looking at my phone, but I'm also going to be sort of making notes on this for our predictions and whatnot. It was charging, just making sure it's charging. So if you've seen these videos before, you know exactly what's going to happen. Unfortunately, if you have, that also means you're going to get an explanation now because we have to do it every time to make sure people know what's going on. So the way these things work is we're going to give the rundown for each match and then give our predictions. I will get Leanne to give her predictions first because her influence is easily swayed. So if I'm to say Papa Shango is going to win the Royal Rumble, she'll probably go, yeah, I'll go for Papa Shango too. Yeah,
because you know what you're talking about. So
most of the time, quite a lot of the time actually.
Yeah.
But in terms of the running order of this, obviously we don't know what running order the matches are going to take place. If I was to guess, I would say Women's Rumble, Tag Match, WWE Title Match, Men's Rumble. Yeah. That's the way I would probably do it.
Middle two potentially switch. But...
Yeah, because you kind of bookend them. Well, why do you switch a Tag Match to go on later than the WWE Title Match?
I don't know. I'm just thinking they'd usually bookend the Rumbles at the very least.
Yeah, much like they did with War Games.
Yeah.
And we're going to do them in the order that I'm looking forward to the most. So usually it would be title matches at the end, but because this is Royal Rumble, they are specialist matches for this specialist event. They will be the last things we cover. So we are going to get into the title matches first. With that being said, the first match we are going to cover is going to be DIY defending their WWE Tag Team Championship against the Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So the kind of backstory on this is Johnny Gargano knew Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns, on the independent circuit. I don't remember if Gargano went to TNA at any point. That's where I've seen most of them in MCMG. But they were really good friends, and there was a point where Gargano was kind of heel turning, and he was kind of almost looking like he was lashing out at Gargano a little bit. And he was trying to force, because obviously they lost their tag titles to the Bloodline. Then Motor City Machine Guns come in, they win the tag titles from the Bloodline, and at that point then in December, this is where we are with the Motor City Machine Guns being the tag champs. So Gargano's like, well, we never got our title rematch. We should get the title match. He was going all heel, and Gargano's like, dude, they're good people. Stop being a dick, basically. So Street Profits won the number one contendership. They sort of had, I can't remember if it was a match or if they were just in the next in the running. I don't remember specifically because that was nearly 2 months ago. But the night that they were supposed to have their match, they got jumped backstage. And everyone's like, oh, who the hell is this? And I'm like, hang on a minute, that's Gargano, right? Not Gargano, sorry, Ciampa's done this. So Gargano happens to be there, and he's like, Nick Aldis, look, we can go. Ciampa and I can go. If you still want to do a tag title match, put us in the match. We can go. And the Motor City Machine is like, yeah, that's fine. Awesome. Yeah, great. So that's where the match takes place. And Gargano decides to heel turn. And it's all been a play from the beginning. He doesn't care about the friendship with Shelley and Sabin. I think he hits a low blow, if I remember rightly. And then they obviously get the one up on the Motor City Machine Guns, and they win the titles back from them. So the 2-time WWE Tag Team Champions, DIY. So since that point, and I think it was something like the 8th or 10th of December, it was somewhere around, it was quite early in the month where that took place. They've been kind of ducking the Motor City Machine Guns. They've been kind of avoiding them like the plague. So Nick Aldis then decided to think, well, you know what? MCMG deserve a rematch, so I'm going to give it to them. DIY be damned. So he does that, And he tells them, he said, oh yeah, not only that, it's 2 out of 3 falls match. How'd you like that? So that's the kind of run up on that.
Yep.
The previous matches these guys have had are great. I love the Motor City Machine Guns are great, despite their new awful theme music in WWE. DIY keeps getting new music every like month or so, which is getting really confusing and really annoying. Just pick one and stick with it. But both teams are great.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I think definitely down the line these guys will be in the running with like the Legion of Doom or Judgment Day. Or Judgment Day is probably a bit too soon for that, actually. Usos, New Day, I was thinking, not Judgment Day. In terms of being among some of the greatest tag teams in the world, Demolition in the industry, you know. I think in my mind, Motor City Machine Guns are already there. They've done Japan, they've done the indie circuit, they were Impact Wrestling champions numerous times. I think they've both been the heavyweight champion of Impact Wrestling as well at some point. But yeah, so I mean, that's the way we got to in there. Have you got anything you want to say about this one?
Yeah, I quite like with DIY, their sort of storyline of, well, Gargano was sort of telling Ciampa that not to be a dick, and then he was a dick himself, kind of thing. It sort of, it harkens back to the stuff they were doing in NXT and heel turns and things, and because of all that stuff, you couldn't really predict where it was going to go.
Yeah,
whether are they going to do the same thing again, or so it was. Yeah, it's quite good. They sort of fed off that and made it into something that wasn't.
I think the biggest difference in NXT is they never heel turned as a tag team. There was always individuals, but they still,
fresh.
So it was kind of cool in that sense.
Yeah. So you thought, Ciampa's gone bad again, and then Gargano's the good guy.
Yeah.
And
who's
then
gonna?
just, like,
and then it's like,
you.
they're gonna get Gargano to heel. Nah, they won't do that. Oh, they did it.
So yeah, it's great. A new sort of a freshly
which is good. Yeah, and it's about time we get something different.
Yeah.
And so in that case, then who do you have winning this match, Liam?
I'm not really.
Best 2 out of 3 falls.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm going to go for DIY.
Yeah.
I think that they could draw this out a little bit longer. I find it a bit strange that they've gone straight for a 2 out of 3 falls.
I think it's because they were kind of avoiding the machine gun legalities as a punishment.
Yeah, because usually in most of these kinds of storylines, you have a singles match or a regular tag team match, and then you add the gimmicks later on, kind of thing. Yeah. But it'll be quite. I think it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good match. Yeah. I say both these guys have chemistry. They're both great teams. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's. I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's a dud match on this card. No. In the sense, I mean, there's only 4 matches on the card. But obviously, the Rumble matches take 2 hours, like an hour each. So that's all plus, you know. So it's got to, they can't just stack it with loads of matches. Otherwise, it'd be 7-8 hour PLE, you know.
No, thank you.
Let's not do that again. In terms of my predictions, I'm going to say.
Nice.
I think that if they were to, so Motor City Machine Guns came in on their second match. They ended up having a tag team title match against Bloodline. Yeah. And then they win it. I like the Motor City Machine Guns, but that did rub me up the wrong way. I felt that was not the right way to handle it.
Yeah, you don't really want a title win when you literally just arrived.
Less than a month in the company and they win the titles. I didn't like that. And I think that if they had, obviously all the build-up with Gargano's flipping and Ciampa sort of leading him astray, shall we say, I feel that if they have the Motor City Machine Guns go over DIY, that kind of overwrites everything there and it will just fizzle.
Yeah,
very
true.
You could get Motor City Machine Guns win the first fall really strong. DIY hit that second fall really strong. And then it's like, and they both end up looking strong.
And then there's shenanigans.
You could have shenanigans, and then DIY will obviously, in our opinion, get the win.
Yeah.
But Motor City Machine Guns can still look strong because they were cheated out of the win.
Definitely.
And they will still look strong because they are a great team. And that's the whole difference between having someone like, I don't know, Pretty Deadly or something like that in you. Whilst Pretty Deadly do have some talent in the ring, I wouldn't necessarily call them a strong team to this caliber of tag team wrestling. Yeah. So if you were putting them in this match and they lost, they wouldn't look strong. They would look weak because of who they're up against. Both these teams are great teams.
Yeah, definitely. Nice.
Cool. Okay, next up then we've got for the Undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes defending against Kevin Owens in a ladder match.
Yes.
So this match has taken place once, I believe it was a Backlash last year, and then once more at Saturday Night main event after Kevin Owens' heel turn in December. So Cody Rhodes obviously beat Kevin Owens because he's still the champion, as it stands. But he did have a gift from Triple H that night. Do you remember what that was?
That was the loan of the Eagle belt.
Yep, the Winged Eagle
The
title.
Winged
In
Eagle.
my mind, the legendary Winged Eagle title. So obviously, Cody's carrying that to the ring, and he's representing that because of the old school feel Saturday Night Main Event and all the history that goes behind that program with that title. Kevin Owens loses the match. He flips the switch. Package pile drives Cody Rhodes, injuring him, and he kind of runs off with the belt.
Yeah.
He just goes, yoink, mine. And he's claiming to be the rightful owner, the rightful champion.
Yeah.
Because in his mind, he should be the champ. So a few weeks later, Cody Rhodes returns after he's sort of, I wouldn't even say cleared, he just sort of makes his return. And he challenges Kevin Owens to a ladder match, to which obviously Kevin Owens is like, you know what, fine. But the caveat is, both titles are hanging above the ring. Now, what I kind of want to, so before we can get anywhere sort of further into this, I kind of, and who's winning and losing and whatnot, what I want to see, what I would really, really, really love to see is them putting that Winged Eagle title back in circulation.
Yeah.
It's a much nicer looking belt than just a huge W on a gold background, you know?
It's actually creative.
Yeah. And it's got a lot of history to it.
Yeah.
You know, the Intercontinental title, they went back from, they had a different Intercontinental Championship. They went back to the old version for a few years because of the prestige around it, because of the history around it. And they've done the same with the Smackdown tag titles. They look like the old WWF title belts. It's a very good homage to those belts. And that's, I think, I really, really would like to see this belt over this ugly ass big W gold thing, you know?
Yeah.
So over the last few weeks then, Kevin Owens is obviously coming down and he's attacking Cody from behind and whatnot. And he's refusing to sign a contract because Cody hasn't signed the contract, which Nick Aldis has made an amendment to, which we still don't know what the amendment is.
No.
Cody Rhodes won't sign it until Kevin Owens signs it. So Nick Aldis gets a bit fed up and he's like, right, screw this. Saturday Night Main Event, as in the one just gone on Saturday just gone. There's going to be a special officiant in this thing to get your signatures and take the belts. It's going to be none other than the legendary Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. So that all goes down. They sign the contract. It's a bit of back and forth. It looks like Owens is about to sort of attack Cody and Shawn push him out the way and hit Sweet Chin Music on Kevin Owens.
Yep.
That's the last we've seen of this particular feud. Obviously, we do have a Smackdown to come on Friday night as we stand. If anything is to change in terms of matches, new matches, match stipulations, anything like that, or if we change our predictions, once we've watched SmackDown on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, depending on when we get around to it, we will update all the description to this video down below. Just because if we wait until SmackDown airs and then we record this and get it up, there's going to be like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Before the event starts, and that's not good. You know, we're not going to stay up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning to watch SmackDown. Oh, hiccups. Have you got anything else about this one?
I found it a little bit strange that they took the belts off them like a week before the actual event.
Yeah.
But I guess they wanted to make a bit of a show of it. And in a way, it's less likely that Kevin Owens will try some funny business to not have his belt up there, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm trying to justify it in my mind.
Yeah, I think it was mainly
spectacle.
the only thing I can think of is that they wanted to make a spectacle of it on Saturday Night's main event instead of on SmackDown because Shawn Michaels obviously wrestled the Saturday Night Main Event back in the day. If I remember rightly, I think the commentators mentioned this. He won the European Championship off of the British Bulldog on Saturday Night Main Event. If I remember rightly, I might be misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure that's what one of the commentators said on SmackDown.
So it made Saturday Night's main event more of an event and probably gave a bit more reason for Shawn Michaels to be there, other than making some people sign some paper. He actually
even though
involved.
he did get a referee to come in and grab the belts.
Yeah, he did.
But then he can't do Sweet Chin Music holding 2 title belts, right?
No, very true. I was a bit worried about him at that point. It's like, you need to not be doing wrestling moves.
It's still wild to me when his hat flew off, and I'm like, oh god, the power of the sun shining on his head, you know? No disrespect to Shawn Michaels, he's one of the greatest to ever be in a ring.
Man needs an armchair right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously why he's the sort of head of NXT, I couldn't think of what the word was.
Yeah.
Because you think back in the day, and you see matches of him back in the day, he's got those long locks, you know? But then there was a lot of talk with Kevin Owens about losing his smile and whatnot as well, which obviously a direct reference to Shawn Michaels losing his smile back in 96?
Yeah, they made the most of him being there, which was good to see.
Yeah. No, it was 95, it was the IC title he lost his smile, not the world title. So in that case then, if you've got nothing else to say, who have you got winning?
I kind of think Cody.
Yeah.
But Kevin Owens might still end up taking the Winged Eagle belt away.
Any reason for Cody?
Oh, I feel like they're too hot on Cody to have him lose at this point. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I think Kevin Owens being the champion would be fun, but at the same time, a lot of this really fun storyline we got going is because he's not the real champion.
I've mentioned this numerous times on this series of prediction and reactions videos before. There's two kinds of wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
There's those who elevate the title,
Mm-hmm.
and there's those who the title elevates.
Yes.
Kevin Owens very much elevates the title in my mind.
He doesn't need it, and chasing it is part of the fun of his character.
I love Kevin Owens as a heel. I much prefer him as a heel.
And who knows? There might still be some kind of thing that happens that makes him dispute that he should have actually won, and he's still the rightful owner of the championship. I think there's an awful lot they could do with this match and with this storyline. So,
well, he was trying to get Sami Zayn to help him to win the match, wasn't he?
Yes, that is also an interesting sort of twist.
He's promising to help Sami win the Rumble.
Pretty much. I don't know if blackmailing or gaslighting or something. Sami
it's more the dangling of the carrot. It's the whole, if you help me win this title, I'll help you win the Rumble. We will main event WrestleMania for the title.
Yeah.
It's dangling that carrot, which Sami Zayn, it's going to sound really bad. I don't see Sami Zayn as a world title holder. No. I really don't.
No matter what he says.
No. In terms of my prediction, I agree. I think Cody's retaining.
Yep.
I would love Owens to win this.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happen.
No.
Unfortunately. I say no. Kevin Owens is one of my favorites. I think he's fantastic.
He is brilliant. It's really made. He's sort of taken bits of gimmicks and turned it into something completely unique for himself.
The one thing that's really bugging me recently, though, people kicking out of the stunner.
Yeah. What's the finisher anymore?
Swiftly moving on. Next match we're going to talk about then is the Women's Royal Rumble. So there's 30 women participants in this event. Only 10 have been named at this particular moment.
That's a third.
Those are Bayley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, and Io Sky. So out of those names, 3 of them have won the Rumble in the past. So Bayley was last year's winner. Bianca Belair has won a Rumble, and so has Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
So that's only 3 of those women out of the 10 that's in there so far. No double winners since its inception. So this is the 8th Women's Royal Rumble. There have been no double winner participants.
Yep.
I think Alexa Bliss is one. Ronda Rousey. I think Rhea Ripley. Did I say Alexa Bliss?
Yes.
Becky Lynch. Who am I missing? I'm missing one. No, this is the 8th, so that'd be 7 winners. Yeah. So those are all the previous winners of the Rumble. Not one single woman at this point has won it twice.
Yes.
The problem with the Rumble is that you can't really talk about it much because it's every woman or man for themselves.
Yeah.
So
there are an awful lot of storylines that intersect kind of to
but it's kind of vaguely
this.
Though. The one that pops in my head straight off is Bayley and Io Sky.
Yeah.
Literally, Bayley had an interview on Raw, turned around, Io Sky's there. I will see you on Saturday. That was it. And it's like, oh. Okay.
Yeah.
The other big thing is Bianca Belair and Naomi, the tag champs. They're both in this match. And so is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who are both participants of Judgment Day. Yeah.
I'm still intrigued by the Bianca and Naomi business.
I'm still adamant Naomi's the one that attacked you.
Yeah, this is the thing. There's still that sort of underlying thing, and there's little snippets every now and then where something about Naomi's face or something about the way she reacts makes you think, "Ooh, she's guilty. She is so guilty." So
it's the only way she can win a title in 2024, 2025, right?
So part of me wonders whether potentially, depending if Jade's recovered, maybe as a prize
she
entrant.
has been spotted at the Performance Center, apparently.
So maybe then exposing as part of the match, whether it leads to the finish or it's just like a little story thing that happens. It could be Naomi screws Bianca out of it, and then it blows up that way. Or Bianca's known this whole time, and this is her opportunity to screw Naomi over. There's a few things that it might be that none of these things happen, and I might be completely off the no, anyway, but there's some things, interesting things they could do.
Yeah.
Naomi's always been pretty good in Royal Rumble.
Yes. She's
lots
usually
of
the Kofi
creativity.
Kingston on the female side.
So there's a lot that they could do with this. I think one of the main things recently that's been made me think, okay, Naomi, I don't know what you're playing at, is making Bianca tie her hair up. I know it's because Bianca hit her accidentally with the hair or something, but I don't know, something a bit off about that link. So I'm kind of anticipating something to happen with those two, maybe three with Jade, but
maybe it'll be the point where they'll both be in the ring at the same time, and they'll be the only two. So they'll throw someone out, and it'll be just the two of them, and then they'll be like,
"What are you doing?"
And then it'll like 10, 9, and then Jade will turn up, and it'll be like, and you'll get to see who the actual guilty party is.
Maybe. So yeah, there's some really interesting stuff. If Charlotte Flair wins, I'm out. She's not been here.
So yeah, this is her first match back after injury.
She's coming back. Great, she's coming back. We've talked about our opinions of Charlotte Flair in the past. She's fine. She's really tall. She got legs and can do some stuff. But if she wins, I'm out. I'm sorry. That's my ultimatum for this one. Yeah, it's like you say, it's really hard to predict because so much could happen. There's so many like intertwining, just little tendrils of story, and there's also 20 women in it that we don't know about.
Yeah,
and it may be more likely that one of these 10 wins because otherwise they would have announced a person earlier.
Not necessarily. The one time that they did have someone win it who wasn't announced was John Cena.
Yeah,
when he returned from injury, he was supposed to be out for like 10 months, whatever it was. He came back in like 5.
It's like one of those things where that surprise is great, but you can't overdo it. But if they've only done it once, it's not overdone. So
yeah, there's probably other instances of that, but I don't recall off the top of my head. That's the one that sticks out the most.
Anything can happen.
I think it's kind of interesting that Liv Morgan for the last 2 years has been the last woman eliminated.
Yeah,
this could be a carry on with this, or is she going to win it?
Could
you know,
because
she obviously just lost the title to Rhea Ripley on the first Raw on Netflix.
Rhea's not in it because she's the champ, right?
She's the champ, yeah, that's right. So her and Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton's not in this. Nia Jax obviously is. That's going to be a struggle for a lot of the women to lift her over the top rope.
Yeah, they'll do the usual ganging up thing and they'll get her out.
One thing I did put on my notes, actually, there is a rumor going around that a new competitor has signed to WWE who has been in the previous 2 Rumbles.
Ooh.
Jordana Grace.
Okay.
Or Jordan Grace, rather, sorry.
Yeah.
Who is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
She's a power lifter. So I just want to see her come in and go, oh, Nia.
Oof.
That would be sick.
Interesting.
That would be sick.
Yeah, very much so.
If you got anything else then, whom do you have to win?
So we're saying if one of these 10 wins, it will be. Is that the prediction? Just to get it straight. Or are we saying regardless of who?
If you want to name someone else who's not in the match, we'll do a double prediction. We'll do one that's not on the list, and we'll do one that is on the list.
I don't think I'd know who from not on the list to put forwards. It's just like I don't want to lose points if it's someone who I didn't think.
We don't do points for WWE anyway. So.
I know, it's the principle.
Yeah.
I need to check the list because there's too many names to remember.
10.
Too many. 10. I can't even remember when it's 2 people in a match. I'm gonna go with my thinking that there's gonna be some storyline stuff going on. Or am I? Because I'm trying to think who's champion. It's hard.
Rhea Ripley is champion on Raw, and Tiffany Stratton is champion on SmackDown.
Oh, there's not much in it that I would sort of be looking at towards that storyline. It's the thing. I don't think I'd want. I love Liv, but I don't want her to be perpetuating the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say wildcard Naomi.
Naomi.
Let's do it. It's the most storyline stuff in it, and I think they could do something really interesting. It's probably won't happen, but
so who do you think I'm going for?
Liv?
Woo!
Oh no, I'm out. I'm not doing it anymore.
I reckon they're gonna have Charlotte win.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have that as my ultimatum then.
I reckon Charlotte Flair's gonna come in and win because that will make her the first 2-time Women's Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah.
And I did surmise many moons ago that Flair will come back, win the title, and Tiffy will cash in at WrestleMania on her.
Okay.
At this way, they're still getting Tiffany and Charlotte at WrestleMania. That's what I've got in my head. I don't want it. I definitely don't want Charlotte Flair to win.
Do you think she'll be last entry as well?
No, because that'll be cheap, and I think that they'll make it feel like she hasn't earned it.
Has she?
She'll probably be mid-pack,
Mhm.
maybe something between 15 and 20, maybe.
Wonder if there's any ring rust.
I'd imagine she's down training. I don't know if her and Alberto, not Alberto, sorry. Oh God, what's her husband's name? Andrade, yeah. I think they're still. I don't know if they're still married or not. There was obviously the rumors that they were splitting up. But if they aren't, then obviously he's going to be helping her training.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be in the performance center as soon as she was fit to cleared to go. She would have been in the training center.
Yeah, we'll say that for her. She's a good worker.
Yeah. I would like to see Liv win.
Yeah.
And cash in on Tiffany.
Yes.
Not Rhea.
Buck the trend.
And I don't know how I feel about Lyra winning because I don't want to see a champion versus champion. Yeah. So that just takes that title off the card, which I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Kai's out with an injury.
Yeah.
Oh, what if Asuka returns?
Yeah.
Asuka's a former winner. I knew there was another one. Asuka. That would be cool because she's been out with an injury. I don't know what her recovery status is at the moment. As a catch-up. We could be all day speculating. Right?
I know.
I want Alexa Bliss back, but I don't think it's happening because apparently there's been a contract issue. So.
Oh no.
So swiftly moving on then to the final match that we're going to cover, the Men's Royal Rumble.
Whoop, whoop.
So again, 30 participants in this match, 13 of which have been announced thus far.
Ooh.
So we've got John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Jey Uso, Penta, Braun Breaker, Chad Gable, and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
So in my mind, Roman Reigns has to be the number 1 or 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of his somber, slow-ass entrance.
Yes.
Because by the time he gets announced, like let's say he's number 6, for example, Roman Reigns' music hits, he stands there, does his whole gump, hands over the Ulafala. Another 6 participants have already gone past him in the ring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds like a good
So I feel like he has to be sort of 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Missing from this list is anyone from the bloodline.
Interesting.
No Solo, no Jacob, no Tama.
So they might be in it, or
but not announced yet.
Or they've cooled on them.
Yeah, potentially.
Which is also quite possible, considering they've now lost everything.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go through all the previous winners of the Royal Rumble because that'd be nuts. But out of the people who are in the Rumble, Rey Mysterio has won 1 Rumble. Mm-hmm. Shinsuke Nakamura has won 1. That's the first one that you saw. Yeah, Drew McIntyre has won 1. Seth Rollins has won 1. This is really
1.
Yeah. Roman Reigns has won a Rumble, and John Cena has won 2 Rumbles. Mm-hmm. And bear in mind, this is his final year.
Yes.
So this will be his very last Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got the United States Champion in there and the Intercontinental Champion in there with Braun Breaker and Shinsuke Nakamura. Mm-hmm. Penta, this could be interesting.
Yeah.
I wasn't thrilled with his first match. There was a lot of slip-ups and mistakes happening in that match.
Yes.
Penta's so much better than that. I know he is because I've seen his barn burner matches on AEW.
Yeah.
Hell, I've even seen them on the indie circuit, and I'm pretty sure on Lucha Underground as well.
So Penta could definitely thrive in a Rumble context.
Yes.
But high flying is dangerous in a Rumble context. Mm-hmm. If he's getting up to that top rope, it only takes a little tiny push, and he's out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's nothing much else. I mean, there's Dominic will probably be in this. JD won't be after his injury on Raw.
That looked painful.
Fair play, broken ribs and a punctured lung, and he still carried on the match. Jesus, dude. Finn Balor might return for this.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Maybe he'll bring the demon out. Mm-hmm. That would be fun.
Possibly getting some Kevin Owens appearance. I know he's in the match earlier. Depending on if Sami Zayn's in his corner, assuming the match happens before, we could get Kevin Owens in here either to assist Sami or to do the opposite.
Or what if he loses the match and then just attacks someone backstage and enters the Rumble?
Yeah.
That's been done before.
Enter the Rumble.
Has been done before, but I mean, the best thing I've ever seen in the Royal Rumble is Mick Foley came out, got eliminated. I can't remember which order this went in, actually. Mick Foley came out, got eliminated. A few places later, Mankind comes out, gets eliminated. A few places later, Dude Love comes out. And it's like the 3 faces of Foley all in the single Rumble. It was nuts.
So good. So yeah, we'll definitely get something, Kevin, but
yeah,
hard to know what.
I am a bit concerned that Oldberg's going to show up for this.
Maybe.
Which I don't want, obviously. Braun Strowman may be in this, possibly. And if Jacob Fatu's in there, that would kind of further that. So they would probably eliminate each other and brawl to the back or whatever.
Yeah. There is a chance that whatever the favour is, that Paul Heyman of CM Punk will come into play here. Or there might be a longer burn
Punk's never won a Rumble.
Mm.
I bet that's eating, in terms of character, that's probably eating
Yeah.
him up bad.
Probably in person
But
too.
he's also never headrun WrestleMania.
No.
The favor in my mind is to have Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in the
Yeah.
main event somehow.
hmm
But I don't understand how that will be a main event.
No. The other thing is, obviously, John Cena's last year. He's likely to want. He'll get a WrestleMania match, but he's likely to be wanting it to be the main event. He's obviously
Last
got.
time main event in WrestleMania. Yeah.
This is an opportunity, and Survivor Series, is that an opportunity to a main event? I can't remember what's.
Survivor Series? No, it's
No,
War Games.
wrong. War Games.
Oh, Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber.
Apologies.
That's usually, so they usually have either the match for the title or match for the other brand's number one contendership.
Yeah. So he's sort of running out of chances, I suppose. And he has been very adamant that he can win it.
Mm-hmm.
He had the big promo, didn't he, of saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it."
Well, again, what's the one thing that WWE loves the most?
A record.
Breaking records.
So he's won.
Even though he wouldn't actually be breaking.
Rumbles?
No, I'm talking about the world title. Now.
Okay, yeah.
So even though he wouldn't actually be breaking Ric Flair's record, because Ric Flair's actually held something like 26 to 28 world titles, John Cena would end up going over the WWE's recognized mark of 16 world title runs, because that's the number that John Cena's on. So if he was to go to WrestleMania, either via the Rumble or via Elimination Chamber and win the title, he would obviously break that record.
Yeah.
Given that Ric Flair left WWE and went to AEW and did his own independent stuff, I think they still got a bit of a stick up their butt about that. So I'd imagine they would be keen to do that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, John Cena, I'm not a big fan of his in-ring work. His mic work is always great.
Yeah.
And he has pretty much been the face of the company for 20 years.
I mean, you can't dispute that.
You can't, can you?
So there's a lot of possibilities going on here. We're not going to talk about certain people.
No.
Because they don't deserve it.
No. Yeah, so, I mean, anything else you want to sort of highlight?
I think that's sort of the main thoughts I was having. So I'm going to predict, out of these people...
Who you got?
I'm going to say John Cena.
John Cena?
John Cena! Win his last Rumble.
If you were to pick someone who isn't in the Rumble, like a wild card?
Oh, should we go Kevin Owens?
I'd love that. I would love that. Who am I going for?
Are you going Cena as well? Yeah.
I think it would be stupid not to. And as you said, they love to break records and whatnot. Yeah. I told you this the other day. Let's see if you were paying attention.
Oh,
who is the only person to win 3 Royal Rumble matches?
Can't remember who you said. Was it Stone Cold?
It was Stone Cold Steve Austin. People herald John Cena as the GOAT, the greatest. And to do that, he would effectively need to tie Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably where they're going to go.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, there's so much that could happen.
Yeah.
It's a great event because it is so hard to predict because there is so many different.
You've literally got a 1 in 30 chance. Technically more than that right now.
Players in the game.
Yeah, because there's 17 names we don't know it's in the Rumble right now.
Yeah.
If any more get announced between now and the start of the Royal Rumble event, I will drop them in the description down below in an update. But I get the feeling they're going to keep most of them secret. They haven't even put a graphic up yet.
Ooh.
It's just Royal Rumble, men's Rumble match, or whatever, men's match, whatever it is.
It would be too many black silhouettes.
Yeah. Well, I think past years they've just had the things of the guys who are in the match or the girls in the match, and that's it. So out of those, then, what's your most looking forward to match?
I think it's going to be the men's Rumble.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, whatever happens.
I agree. I love the Rumble. It's one of my favourite events, if not my favourite event of the year. It's superb.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's just that unpredictability. I really hope they pull out some surprises this year. Last year's was a bit meh. I don't know who they could pull out as surprises. The problem is I've lost a bit of track of, what if they chuck Hikuleo into this?
Ooh.
Because he's signed with the WWE.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace, I think, is a guaranteed thing.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if the current Impact Wrestling or TNA champion turns up. Say his name. Joe Hendry. I would not be surprised if Joe Hendry turns up to this.
Because they have got an official partnership.
Official partnership, with TNA. Imagine the pop.
That'd be so good. He's
Say
gonna
his
he's
name.
gonna be there. He's gonna be there.
Least looking forward to match.
That's essentially a tricky one. These
That
are
is.
all really good. I think it's out of these matches, I'm gonna say it's the 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's just it's the bottom of a great lineup.
Yeah. And I have to agree with that. I think that, again, the unpredictability of the Rumble, men's or women's.
Yep.
It's not like Survivor Series War Games where the women's match was dire and so was the men's.
Yeah.
And you knew all the participants in there and you knew kind of see where it was going. With this, you don't, because you only got 10 of the women and 13 of the men participants who were known, you know.
And it's a free-for-all.
It is a free-for-all, yeah, absolutely right. So that's that.
Yes.
This should be good. I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's not like 7 hours long. Take us away, Leah.
Oh, yeah, that was our predictions, and we'll be back with our reactions on Sunday. Sunday. So look forward to that. Please like this video if you liked it. Hit subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Follow us on socials. Our link tree's in the description below, which will take you to Facebook, Instagram, and X. And you can talk to us there or in the comments below. Let us know what your predictions are. Who would you love to see pop up in either of the Rumbles as a surprise entrant? Let us know. And that's about it. So I'll see you on Sunday. Until then. 3, 2, 1. Bullet Club.